for Wisconsin Scholars. Uh, dog, man, I just remember we would go to YMCA in Menominee Falls, and we would just basically run games all day. And Buddy just, man, you can probably, I imagine you're gonna edit and take which one out of this. So if I talk longer, my bad. But I just remember we was going to YMCA in the falls, and just us running games left and right, and just, dog, we was just running them old dudes out the gym. But even then, when we had pickup games, it was like it had to be me and him because he knew I could. One, he knew I could dish it, and then two, he knew that if he got the ball in my hands, either A, he was gonna get it back. We just kind of like just had that click. But overall, playing ball with Jay, some of the best games of my life, especially somebody that really wanted to compete at the end of the day. And the only dude, bro, dog can roast. I give it to him. I give it to him. This man had my self-esteem in the chokehold for at least 10 years. No ball for all. Dog, Jay, hey, Jalen McCloud is a man, dog.
Two, three. All right, man. We are live here, and today we got another special one, man. It's a beautiful Sunday. I got my guy here, and I want to read the resume, do him right, man. So, Scholars alum in terms of AAU. Some other teams too, but I feel like the Scholars stand out the most. And that was your last team, right? Before
Yeah, Scholars
so
was my last one.
So I show throw the Spartans in there too, and some other teams, but definitely show love to the Scholars.
Yeah.
Germantown High School under Showalter.
Yeah.
4-year varsity player, 2 state appearances. Started his junior year. Was all conference honorable mention in the North Shore Conference. And if you don't know, back in the day, that conference, y'all, Bay, who else was nice?
Bay
Port,
at the time. We had Cedarburg.
Yeah.
We had Chip. Yeah, we
Wicks,
had
bro.
Josh
Milwaukee Lutheran.
Milwaukee Lutheran.
Yeah.
It was.
Nicolay had some players. So
it was stacked in the North Shore.
So to do that, that's a stamp. Recruited by Concordia, Lawrence, Ithaca in New York. But then I got the man here because I want to hear his story senior year. That happened. But I'm going to let him, tell his story. But just after that, beautiful family, husband, 2 kids, man, doing this thing, crib around the corner for me. So I got the man here, Jalen McCloud. Appreciate you, bro, for coming to the show.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
And when I was doing this, I'm like, I hope I don't slip up because my niece or my nephew name is Jalen Key.
Jalen Key.
So I'm like, I swear I hope Jalen Key don't slip out when I say his name.
Bro, there's so many Jalens now.
Yeah,
bro.
man. But
Jalen's.
I'm like, Jalen McCloud, his last name definitely stand out. But again, bro, happy to have you here. I'll give you my spiel on the first time I seen you. So it was Milwaukee Lutheran, summer of my sophomore going into junior year. And you was with G-Town, and I'm like, he ain't the biggest cat. But I'm like, who's little buddy? Then we got to playing, and I'm like, dog, nice. Like, he made one good play, then kept making. I'm like, no, dude could go. So, like, the more we would come back with those games, I'd check out Germantown. I'm like, who was little dog? And then I seen Brian, and I'm like, okay, they must. Then over time, So, yeah, I was always thought you was a dope player, fascinated with your game. You know what I'm saying? Germantown was a power. So, to be the leader of that ship at that time, bro, definitely a stamp. So, let's get into your story, brother. I like to go from the beginning. where you from originally, and just give us the spiel.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm from 61st and Hampton.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we grew up over there.
Yeah.
Our neighbors actually was Josh Burks,
Yeah.
Juice Burks up
Oh, yeah,
LS
yeah.
right now, his
Yeah.
father. He
Yeah.
lived right next door to us.
Okay.
Ryan Hopgood, other people around the neighborhood. So yeah, we 61st and Hampton is where we from. So yeah, that's where the McClouds was at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you got siblings. So was it just you and your brother, or was more of y'all?
Yep, me and my little brother.
Okay.
Yeah, just us two, playing basketball on the court.
Okay.
Behind the door, all that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we did growing up, man.
Okay.
Me and Ronnie.
At what age was the game introduced to y'all? Did y'all pops play, or it was just like that's
Yeah,
what
Pops
y'all was
went to
doing?
Vincent.
Okay.
He played at Vincent, I think, his freshman, sophomore year, something like that.
Okay.
But I was a little later, I think, to hooping
Yeah.
than what kids is now.
Right.
Everybody started
Doing
young
from-
now.
yeah.
I probably started in like third grade.
I feel like that's normal.
Yeah.
When we came up,
Yeah,
that's normal.
yeah, that probably was like
yeah.
normal. Now I'm seeing little dudes go,
Oh, yeah,
they kindergarten.
yeah.
My guy got a
3,
son
4,
that's second
yeah,
grade,
yeah.
going crazy
Yeah.
already. So, but yeah, I started about third grade.
Okay.
Just playing a little things
Yeah.
at the Y, stuff like
Yeah.
that, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But then we Pops ran into Durham
Okay. Yeah.
at Northridge.
Yeah.
Told him, yeah, my son, you got to Thoreau.
Mhm.
And Durham's like, I coach, have him come out for the fourth grade, fourth and fifth grade team. Went out in third grade, didn't make it. So I was a little hurt. I wasn't good in third grade, but I guess I thought I was supposed to make the team.
Right,
so I was
right.
hurt. So we went hard, that summer to come back and make the team fourth or fifth grade. End up playing. Was decent, but wasn't a man.
Yeah.
But I played under Rick Bowers and Durham.
Man, shout out to Big Rick, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Rick. Yeah. And what team was that at the time? What team was that for?
When I at the row.
Yeah, no. Was Rick coaching at the row, or was that for AAU?
Yeah,
was at the
it
row?
was at the row.
Okay.
Yep. AAU. That's when that year I played with DW Wildcats.
Okay.
That's when I first met Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, under Josiah Mallet. Yeah, rest in peace of Joe.
Okay.
Joe Mallet.
Okay.
But, that was DW days. Played with Shaq.
Man, shout out to Shaq, man.
Yeah. So.
Was Josh with you?
Josh wasn't with me then.
Okay.
No, because we played against Josh in elementary school when he was at Kilbourne.
Yeah.
So we just kind of got it from playing against each other.
Okay.
And that's when my pops met his parents, and we was tapped in from there. We was like best friends.
Yeah.
But we ain't playing on the same team in AU though. But, yeah. So that's how I started.
I got you.
Yeah.
And then, bro, was you always playing that PG spot? Or was that something you kind of like with time and just feel for the game you blossomed into?
Yeah, it was
always a PG.
Always, being little. You know what I mean? You ain't doing nothing but PG.
Yeah.
I was always the point. Never was I guess coming up, I was always good. I feel like I always started, but I wasn't like elite.
Yeah.
Like I knew I wasn't cold. Like when I was younger, I remember this little dude was playing. When we was in elementary school, I was in fifth grade, so we got done with fourth or fifth grade. I'm in fifth grade now. I'm the starting point guard. I'm thinking like, oh yeah, this it's kind of my ship to run. And I got a little dude. Big Rick still starting me.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was a little dude named Shamar.
Okay.
That was a fourth grader.
Yeah.
That was better though.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was love that he still started me, but I felt like I had to work. So even as a kid, I feel like I was always working. I always had to prove it. Earn my spot, keep it going. Elementary school was just kind of grinding.
Okay.
Going against cats.
So let me ask you, Jay, just in terms of like the way your game was developed, because you quick, had a floater, could shoot. In terms of your skill set, when did that start to really like blossom to where like you like, okay, I'm solid? At what age, bro?
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely seventh grade.
Okay, we're gonna get into it. So for middle school, bro, where were you at?
Lincoln.
Okay.
So I went to Lincoln because Josh G.
Yeah.
That's my guy. So he, his mama saying, come to Lincoln. It's a great school, art school. I don't do nothing in arts at all. But I remember, Josh in the drum line. So so I get there, I'm acting and doing stuff on the little thing. I'm like, this is all out of my element. But we went to Lincoln because JG was at Lincoln. So I went there. They actually ended up. Seventh grade wasn't popping off like that for the team. So I was on the 8th grade team as a 7th grader. So coming off of elementary school, I was good. Yeah. But I was like I was still getting better. When I got to Lincoln, I think I took a jump. That 7th grade year, I said I'm starting now on the 8th grade team in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, well, I'm nice now.
Yeah,
like, all right,
yeah.
now I'm here. You know, now we good. Like Lincoln was kind of weak before. We having like the best year ever for the middle school, and I'm starting at the PG.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, man, this is crazy. So that's definitely when it kind of clicked. Where I like, yeah, I think I'm nice now for sure. And then I'm playing with the Rebels.
Okay.
Now,
Okay. Shout out. Who was the coach for you?
Kerry.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kerry was our coach. You know, it was we had Markel. I think Darnell was on our team, you know, from Hamilton. Darnell was on our team. So we Trey Kinlow, we had plenty of people, man. You know, the Ramies was there at the time. So yeah, the Rebels that was the AAU program at the time. So I was grinding every day with the Rebels, man. So you know, the Rebels, we go hard. So
yeah, for sure.
That's where it was definitely 7th grade, man. That's where it kicked off.
Yeah, that's a stamp though, being with the Rebels back in that. Well, now just period. But so 7th grade, so now we gonna spill over to 8th grade, bro. Your last year at Lincoln, and at this time, high schools, is that in your mind where I'm gonna go, or was it just like, I don't know, man?
Yeah, so 8th grade is it's like me and Josh, you know, it's kind of our show a little bit at Lincoln, and we playing good, but we ain't having the year that we want to have.
Yeah.
And you know, we thinking about high schools and everything, but my pops was like, I think we got to get out. We got to get out of here. We got to get you a better education. Lincoln was kind of it was getting a little bad. You know, my math teacher ended up she was out for the rest of the year, having to sub all year in math. So my pops was like, yeah, but for education, he work out in Germantown. He's like, I got this spot.
Okay.
We gonna
that makes sense.
He was looking at Showalter, seeing what they was doing out there. I don't think they ever won conference at Germantown at the time, but he was liking the way Showalter was running things out there from what he's seen. I ain't even know like what Germantown was, where it was. Like I ain't knowing nothing about Germantown. And at Lincoln, we got, you know, the school is we probably got 3 white dudes in the school at Lincoln. Yeah. And Germantown is probably like the opposite. So it was like, I'm like, man, we going out to where?
Yeah.
You know, but Brian Keys out there too.
Okay.
I played with him for D-Dub. He like we transferring out there. I was sick though. I was not trying to go out to Germantown at all at first. I was like,
trust pops.
I was like, I mean it's the move. I mean that's what we doing. So we about to.
Let me ask you, bro. If you didn't go to Germantown, if they left it up to you, where would you have wanted to go for high school?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was gonna go to Tech.
Okay. Because that's kind of like that's not too far from.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was gonna go to Tech.
Okay.
I thought Chris McHenry was cold.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it was like I was liking what Tech had guards.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm thinking like, I think and we played at Tech in 7th grade.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's where our games was at. That gym was kind of new. You know what I mean? It was like, I think Tech gonna be the spot. So I'm pretty sure I was probably gonna end up going to Tech.
Okay.
If we ain't transfer out there.
Okay.
But and then just real quick shout out to before we get out of middle school. We another part of 7th grade that we had going on was Blacktop. My pops coached Blacktop, and we had me, Josh G, Marcus Kirk.
Oh, shout out to Marcus,
Marcus.
Man. Yeah.
Jordan, the Kirks, man. It was like that was a big part too of me getting better. We won a championship up in Blacktop, and I think that was kind of like, that kind of
that's a confidence booster.
That's a confidence
right
booster. You know, you going at it in the summer.
Yeah.
And come off of that, I go to the little 5-star camp.
Yeah.
Make an all-star team there. So going into high school, I'm kind of like,
you got the swag.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. I think we good going into high school. But then everything kind of shifted. Yeah. We going out to Germantown now, so things a little shaky. Yeah. And they play basketball different out there.
Right, no, I see.
Everything different.
Yeah.
So that was a tough one.
So let me ask you, bro, your relationship with Chris. At what age was y'all like linked together? When was y'all like together, bro?
Yeah. So Chris, just so you ain't got to do this, Chris, no more and explain yourself, dog. They be in the shop, thinking Chris couldn't hoop or something.
Yeah.
Chris was nice.
Yeah.
Chris was definitely nice. I mean, I met Chris from going out to the Menominee Falls Y.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, Pops had us going out there.
Yeah.
Chris was a little rowdy little dude, talking crazy all the time. But then we got to be real cool. That's like my brother. He was one of my best friends. So we out there just from going to the Y, man, playing with Chris all the time. But Chris was definitely nice.
Yeah.
He was getting in trouble all the time. That's why
he said that too.
That's why he wouldn't play. But if he wasn't getting in trouble, Chris definitely was super nice guard out there for sure. But I knew Chris probably since the fourth grade also,
Makes
something
sense.
like that. Yeah.
What he didn't go to Lincoln, which he did.
Nope, he went to Menominee Falls.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to Menominee Falls. I think he started off in the city though. He was in city schools I think until like middle school or something like that. Then he moved out to the Falls.
Okay. And I want to just say, man, shout out to Crispy Chris, one of the premier barbers in the city, man. On Brady. If you need a dope barber, man, hit him up. For real, for real. So, all right, man. You make the decision. Y'all going to G-Town, Germantown. You don't know much in terms of like the dynamics of the school. You might be one of a few in terms of that. But your freshman year start, bro. And just what's going on. Did you have an expectation? Okay, I'm gonna play varsity. I'm gonna play JV. What was your mindset at the time? And just speak on how different it was for you adjusting.
For sure. Yeah, so because my pops kind of Showalters don't know us at all at this time, right? We just a random family that's coming out of Germantown, right? So pops talking to him like, I'm gonna bring my son out there, whatever. He like, okay, we're not that good. So Pop's like, no, I like what you're doing. I think, we can go upstate. Yeah. He kind of like, what you talking about? Like, bro, we ain't I don't think they ever won conference. So he like, you coming out here, this is another dad.
Right.
Thinking his son gonna be a savior, take him upstate. But so Showalter's kind of like, all right, man. But bring him out here. We'll see how it go. So then, the year start or summer league, that 8th grade summer league, that's when you start playing, you determine if you're going to play freshman, JV, varsity, whatever, in summer league. So they had me, and granted, at this time, I'm feeling good about myself. So I come out there, we going to open gyms. I'm playing against this dude named Brian Ebert. I think that was a senior at Germantown at the time. Yeah. In open gym. And I feel like I'm playing pretty good. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. Like, I think I might be able to, I'll probably play VAR right away.
Yeah, do something. Was Rick? Because Rick wasn't there.
I'm gonna tell you.
Go ahead.
So we coming into the summer, right? Playing at open gym, feeling good. Hit me with a dagger. Freshman summer league. I'm like, freshman summer league.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had a freshman.
No, me either. We got Homestead, and I'm like, they put me on freshman, because out there it's kind of politics, right? You ain't a Germantown kid. You ain't about to just come here and we just bumped you up, dog. Just came here. So.
I know, bro. Did you get through 220 or y'all moved?
We moved.
Okay.
Okay,
man.
Yep, we moved. Okay. So, but at the time, we ain't moved yet. We ain't moved until like my freshman year started. I think I was actually I was going to Brian Key's house in the morning. Okay. I was getting dropped off there because my pops worked out there. They dropped me off at Brian's house. I'm going to school with Brian. Yeah. So, but when summer going on, I was salty to be on freshman summer league. I'm thinking I'm nice. And playing freshman summer league, I remember Pops like, dog, you ain't gonna move up if you ain't out here killing. Cause I was going through the most. I'm like, it's trash. Like freshman summer league, it's garbage. So then I'm going through. He kind of get on me about not going hard. Yeah. I come back one day. He ain't even come to the game. He's like, man, you bullying, bro. Yeah. I had 50 in the freshman summer league game. I'm just killing. Yeah. So then I had 50. Word kind of got all through Germantown. Like this Jalen kid just had 50 on summer league. So now everybody like he cold. So now I moved up or whatever. We come into the year. Showalter put me on VAR. Right. Actually, I want to say put me on VAR yet. Before we even get to that, we start school because it's summer league, right? Open gyms, all that going on. I'm like, I'm playing. I think I'm starting point guard on VAR. I'm like, oh, we good. I'm about to start this year VAR. Right away. I ain't even think this was gonna happen. Like going into high school, starting on VAR as a freshman. We go down. I'm walking down the hall, like probably my first day at Germantown. I'm just looking around. All of a sudden, I see a dude walking down with some braids. I'm like, who is this? Who is this? Yeah. It's Rick. Yeah. I'm like, and Rick, super cool with Rick. Yeah. But at the time, I'm like, bro, what you doing out here? Yeah. What you transferred out here? Like, where you come from, bro? He like, we out here now. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, damn. Rick a Jr.
Like my turn.
Yeah, I'm like, it's probably, we gonna see, but it's probably sad now. At this time, I'm like, bro, Rick nice.
Yeah, no, Rick
nice. Yeah. And Rick play strong. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm little too. I'm like, so we get to kind of the end of the summer open gyms or whatever, early in the year. Rick shred me. shredding me open gym. I'm like,
ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
No,
Yeah,
but it's like, but it was part of the journey. You know what I mean? Like with Rick, with him coming out, I wasn't ready to be starting on no VAR. I mean, I'd have got ready throughout the year, but going against Rick every day. Rick a dog. Like,
just speak on this game. What did you struggle with in terms of holding?
I felt like Rick was so strong, G. Like when he was a junior, but I felt like dog played like a man as a junior. And I'm kind of finesse. Like Rick a bulldog. You know, he you know, getting in there trying to take the ball, everything. So I'm like, I'm coming back to Pops like, man, dog, these open gyms and stuff be rough.
Yeah.
Like I'm going at it with Rick every day, bro.
Let me ask you, bro, was you the only one that was taking on that matchup? Was it rotating, or you had to stick Rick the whole time?
Me.
See, that don't like
just me.
That's the setup,
just me.
Bro.
And Showalter, and I think what made Showalter kind of one of them coaches. Is he? What you gonna do, Jay? You know, he kind of amping it up. You know, and then if I have a good possession on Rick, ooh, okay. Yeah, you know what? He's locking you up, Ricky. You know, and Rick kind of like, oh, it's over. Now I'm about to try to kill him. So he was kind of pitting us against each other in open gyms.
I get it.
And it was but it was great. It was great for me going through it at the time. I hated it, but to get my game better, it wasn't nothing better than that going against Rick day in, day out.
Oh, for sure.
So that freshman year was all, you know. And so he thought he was gonna play me. He played me a little bit, but then he moved me to splitting JV and VAR because Rick was there now. So it wasn't like no, if I'm gonna get you better, we're gonna put you on JV and VAR.
So was you the backup to him, or was it another person in line?
It was, I'm trying to think.
Because if he was his backup, you would think he would just keep you up there full.
Yeah, because I wasn't his backup like that. Rick played. I think Rick played like the whole game.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. He seen that happening. I think because at first I was just on VAR.
Yeah.
I think like the first 5 games exclusively.
Yeah.
I wasn't splitting, and I think Showalter was kind of like, I'm not playing you enough.
We got to get you some.
I'm not about to just not give you no run.
Yeah.
You need to go split. So I split. You know, play half of JV games and then, you know, VAR or whatever. But yeah, that was the freshman year, man. Was that going through that gauntlet?
What's a memorable game, JV or VAR, that you just remember? You just had it on display your freshman year.
My freshman year, I ain't gonna lie, my memory bad, G. But
we're getting up there now, man.
Yeah, my freshman year, I'm trying to think who was a good game. I think I had a real good game against Port.
Okay.
Yeah, against Port Washington. I went to their gym. I remember they had like a little.
They gym different too.
They gym weird, but it had like a spotlight in the middle of it. It was like everything blacked out, and then it's just a spotlight on the court. I thought that was player how they had like it's like a showcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember like a Port game. I think that was who I had probably the best game that year. But I was that year was rough. I was still kind of hurt.
Just growing pains.
But I'm thinking I'm about to start on VAR, and I'm like, dang, dog, I'm up here playing JV. It was a letdown.
Speak on Ben one time, bro. At his sophomore year, what point was he? Because I don't think he was quite as big as he is now. His sophomore year.
You know, Ben was. I just remember his shot blocking. G. Like at the time, it was like he blocked everything.
Yeah.
So you know, me being little, going to open gym, Ben clearing everything. And I ain't coming out of middle school.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody sending nothing like that in middle school. So I'm coming there and them open gyms. I'm like, dog, this dude, the shot blocking was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Showalter just had him put your hands straight up and he just no fouls. I'm like volleyballing. So you got Rick guarding you at the helm. You get past Rick, it go Ben. It's like it was. Ben was a monster though. He was a monster. Showalter made sure he was a monster.
We gonna talk about him. So Ben Cousin coached at Concordia. That's how I was able to get close with Chuck or Charlie Avercamp. So me and him was able to, get close, and he'd talk about Ben too. So yeah. So let's move to have a bumpy freshman year, but I think it was good for you.
No, it was a good freshman year.
Pain,
it was a good freshman year.
Freshman year, this summer going into sophomore year, what AAU team was you with?
Yeah, that summer going into sophomore AAU, that was I think it was NBA.
Okay.
I think Marcus Hines.
Hines, yeah.
Yep, I think Hines was coaching me then, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I had a decent year with NBA. It wasn't crazy. I did all right, but then I think towards the tail end of that year, I think I ended up going to the West Hoops camp.
Okay. Yeah.
Mark Miller West Hoops.
That's big time.
Yeah. So I went to that, and I remember I was killing at that camp.
Yeah.
I got a little write up, everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going in kind of like, you know what? Sophomore year, I think I'm good now. I know I'm playing with Rick next year for sure. I'm playing now. I'm not like coming off of that. I'm thinking I'm about to be ranked in the top 10 in the state coming off that Wiz Hoops camp.
Yeah.
It didn't have name ranking 5-6 guard in the top 10, so it was over for that. But no, that was summer was good.
Okay.
But my next AAU summer was the summer where I think I took off. But this summer was good. That Wiz Hoops camp was a builder going into the my sophomore season. And then me and Rick in the backcourt. Sophomore year.
That's solid. And like I said, I think that was the first time I saw you, and I'm like, damn, who was little butt? Okay, he nice. But yeah, just going from freshman to sophomore year, bro. What's the biggest improvements you think you made with your game, dog?
Yeah, I think it was I got faster.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think, but like I wasn't really fast yet. Like I remember my pops used to always tell me, you don't know how to run. I used to be like, what you mean I don't know? Like you telling the kid, I don't know. Anybody that got kids, you kind of know like kids, might not extend or whatever. They just look like, bro, you gotta learn how to jump.
Right,
you know what I mean? Your kids, like, bro, use your athleticism.
Yeah.
He used to always tell me that. I'm like, bro, I don't know what you talking about.
Yeah.
Like I'm running.
Yeah.
What you mean I don't know how to run? But Showalters had me. He had me breaking the press all freshman year. So I'm like the dummy going against us pressing because with Showalter, we press all game. Yeah. I'm having to break the press. So I'm thinking I'm just going against Rick doing the press the whole year. I think I'm just getting fast, getting more athletic. So then coming into that sophomore year, I'm just fast now. Like I'm speedy now. Like I'm like everything kind of got a little easier because I'm just able to just jet past people. Get to my stuff. So I think I got more athletic that sophomore year. I think that's what really changed.
And just let me ask you, bro. Just speaking on Showalter one time, just him as a coach, his philosophies, bro. What was it like? Just kind of being underdog, because I heard he's super cool too.
Yeah, no, Showalter is. I mean, we gonna talk about it later with the turmoil we got later on. But at the Showalter was my coolest coach. Yeah, like that I had the best rapport with, like super cool. Like we playing around all the time. Showalter is a nut, like super funny.
That's what I heard.
But super serious. He ain't playing. But. It's a good time though, playing for him until you get into your little spats with him. But at the time, Showalters was just it was repetition, man. He was, I mean, we was just repetition over and over again. We doing the same thing, just drilling them plays into our heads, and just he demanded something out of you. And as a coach, at the time, you a kid, you going through it, like. You boxing somebody in seemed like the worst thing. That's the worst thing in the world when you going through it. But to win, sometimes it's like when you put people in their roles. It's kind of how teams kind of win. High level coaches and stuff like that. But he definitely put you. This is what I want out of you. This is what I want out of you. You know what I mean? And you ain't deviating from that.
That's what you're supposed to do.
This what you do. You stand here. You stand in your box. Don't go outside. That he's gonna be sitting down. So that was that's what he was about.
And one more question: where is Lil Bro at this time with his gang? Cause how much older are you than
I'm 5.5 years older than Juwan.
Okay.
So he come out to Germantown. Yeah. I think when I transferred out there, I think he was in like third grade.
Oh, so he was
something
little
like
dude at that time.
Little dude, super little, but he came out there as like a prodigy.
Okay.
I mean, he was killing. Them WYBL, whatever. Had a little grade school league. He was cooking. He was like little LeBron James out there in Germantown at the time. Okay. I was Jalen's little brother, but he was killing though. Yeah. So
could he do anything with you at the time?
Oh no.
Okay, we gonna work our way up to him.
No, he was too little. We gonna work our way up. He too little at this time. He too little at this time. So, but
sophomore starts. Your swagger is up. Your mindset up. Now, either you sharing the backcourt with Rick or you probably the first guard off the bench. Yeah. G-Town is good at this time, dog. Y'all had the hardest team shoes ever, bro, the black and blue Gills.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that got set up, but salute to y'all, man. So just speak on sophomore year, dog.
Yeah, sophomore year, we it's like a for sure thing. We can go to state.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we think we got a good enough team. We got Vincent in our sectional though, so it's like we got a hard sectional, so it's like we don't know, but I got better Rick still, I'm thinking Rick to me was one of the best guards in the state at the time. Rick don't get his flowers, but Rick was really cold.
He was.
So I'm thinking we got a real shot. I'm probably first man off the bench, but I'm playing like the whole game though. I'm playing like starter minutes, like me and Rick and in the backcourt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had a great year. I think we might have only lost like 3 games.
Okay. Yeah, that's solid.
Won conference. I think that might have been our first conference championship at the time.
Okay.
I think maybe in school. I don't know, but I know we won conference. And
who was your rival at that time?
At the time, we used to really go at it with Milwaukee Lutheran.
Okay.
I'm trying to think when Rick was there, because I know Whitefish Bay was when I was there.
Yeah.
When it was my junior year was Whitefish Bay.
But we'll talk about Jimmy later, man.
Yeah. But this year, it might have been Cedarburg.
Okay.
I forget that year, but I think we kind of ran away with conference though.
Okay.
Like we was dominating that year. Ben coming up.
Yeah.
Ben
bigger.
Yeah, Ben is like a real problem now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We going high low to Ben.
Yeah.
Got Rick running, scoring his buckets. We had a shooter. We had Bobby Komorowski.
Oh yeah. I thought he was 07. I didn't know he was 07. He was.
Yeah, Bobby played. Yeah, Bobby played with me and Rick. Yeah.
Okay. Knockdown, banger shooter.
Yeah, I mean Bobby a scorer. He was pretty much just a shooter then.
Yeah.
I mean Bobby can score.
Yeah.
But he
put it in.
He had a burner though.
Was Malcolm on the team? Was Malcolm on varsity as a freshman?
Malcolm, I think Malcolm was on JV that year. I think Malcolm was on varsity as a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he played VAR as a freshman.
Okay. So y'all get through that year, then it's time to play Vincent to go upstate.
Yep.
Man, run us down on that game, bro.
Yeah, that game was Vincent trapping the whole game. I remember I'm like, because, going to the game, Pops is like, you better be ready.
Right.
You better be ready.
Yeah.
They about to press the whole game. You know how they about to do. So I'm pretty much breaking the press the whole game. The charge give it to me, and when I break the press, it's like give it to Jay and he gone. You know what I mean? So we had the game in the balance. I'm like, oh, it's getting tight.
Yeah.
Cho Walter's been on me all year about taking the charge.
Yeah.
The whole year. Like, Jay, you got to take a charge. I'm like, bro, I'm not taking no charge. Like, it's over. I'm not taking no charge.
It ain't me, coach.
It ain't me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I ain't about to get ran over. We'll get hurt out here taking the charge. I hate charges, bro.
Yeah.
I can't stand
charges.
charges.
I'm with you, too.
Man, get somebody hurt all the time.
Right.
But I remember it came down to the end of the game. I think it's probably it might be 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
I think we might be down. I think we tied up. I don't know who went to the hole. I don't know if it was Mark Fitzgerald, who it was.
Yeah.
But I remember I took a charge for like the first time all year.
Yeah.
Got the charge. And I'm hurt too. Like I get hurt, mess up my tailbone and everything on the charges. I don't know how to take charges.
I told you, man, we ain't trying to.
I'm like, man, but they geek. Like, yo, good job.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So now I think I don't know if I got fouled or whatever. I'm going to the line. I think I hit 1 out of 2 free throws, and that ended up being like the game winning free throw. I think they sent us upstate.
Yeah.
So I'm geek. Like,
That's big time,
I take a charge, hit a free throw.
Yeah.
As a sophomore, I'm like, I'm super. I'm on cloud 9, going up to that.
Yeah.
So we get upstate. I think we play Oshkosh West.
Okay, they was cold at the time.
Yeah. We should have beat them.
Yeah.
For sure. We better than I know we was better than Oshkosh West. Remember we got up there. I done played started great minutes all year. We get up state. Showalter barely played me.
You think he wanted to just roll with the older cats, or?
I don't know what it was. I remember I was sick. I'm like, dog, I ain't got minutes like this all year.
Yeah.
We get upstate. I can't wait to get out there, on the court. I barely played in this game, and we lose. I mean, I think we was up, and we kind of, I ain't gonna lie, I think that was Showalter's first time upstate. I think he got tight.
Bright, yeah.
I think he got tight. He tightened up. Coaches can tighten up too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think them lights got real bright his first time up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, he ain't played me. We end up losing. I ain't the reason why we lost the game, but he changed how the rotation. He changed everything when we got up there, and it was like, dang, dog, because Oshkosh West was like they was winning. They been winning, so. Getting them first right away, I think he got a little nervous. Like, we was Oshkosh West, you know what I mean? It was like, man. So we ended up taking that L. I was sick. I'm crying after the game. It was rough, but that year though, I feel like that year my confidence grew. a lot. So that set up my summer going into that scholars, first year with the scholars. And then I remember Flav had left. Flav and Devin Green
he talked about that.
Yep.
He talked about that.
He had left, and they went to I think DTA.
Yeah. I
think they went to DTA. And it was like I go there, and it's like my show with the scholars. I'm like, dang, I'm like, man, it's the best basketball I'm playing. I ain't never really been a man before, where I'm scoring, kind of doing it. I was kind of like the man too in middle school with Lincoln in 8th grade, but this is really where I'm like scoring and stuff, like really killing.
Was Keys with you?
Yep.
He was okay.
Yeah,
so he got bro with you.
Yeah, Brian was with me, and we competing in a lot of these top tournaments and stuff. We ain't got no headline dude. At the time, I think it's Troy Huff and Flav. It's like the god. Troy was cold, super cold. But then was like the dudes. But we ain't have like no real headliner. And, that was my best AAU season by far. I mean, we went to the Adidas May Classic. I remember we went to like the Final Four. We playing in Bloomington. We ended up making it to on the the Hoosiers court. I'm killing. We beat Indiana Elite to go there.
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
big
like,
time.
To dudes asking like, man, what he ranked in the state or whatever, and my dad like, not high. You know, it's like, but I'm cooking now. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to kill next year.
Yeah.
So going into high school, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like that. Like I know I'm cold now. Now I'm like, I'm feeling myself now. Like I think I'm cold now. Yeah. Now we there.
Okay.
So that was that's going into my junior year. Into high school. So that Germantown year, I'm like, we got.
Oh, it's up.
It's my show.
Yeah.
Rick done graduated, and it's like, oh yeah, it's my ship to run with.
That 1-2 punch. Yeah. What was the shooter y'all had? And then
Mike Minsky.
Yeah. Banger. And then Zach. That was his freshman year too. Zach was a freshman.
Right? Okay. My junior year.
Yeah.
Yep. So we come into there. My guy Evan Gillespie.
Shout out to Ev, man. Shout out to Evan,
man. My guy Ev. Ev was the starting 2 that year. So he's starting now. It's like I got my guy starting with me. B off the bench. I'm feeling good coming into the year.
What was the other big cat? Y'all had 2. Ben. What was the other big dude?
And we had Luby. Mike Luby.
Lubenheimer. Yeah, big lanky dude.
Yeah. So that was our starters. Me, Ev, Luby, Minsky, and Ben.
Y'all had to be like top 3 in the state.
Easy.
I
think we lost. That year, I think we probably lost 3 games again or something. That year, coming off of it.
Y'all was cold, bro.
Yes, I'm like, I'm running the ship. I'm having a good year, but now I'm coming off this AAU season.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of the man. So I'm thinking coming into high school, like you're gonna take the handcuffs off me a little bit now. So Walters, like I'm a junior. You're gonna let me, cause before it was like. Dog didn't want me to shoot ever. Yeah. Like my sophomore year, like he didn't want me shooting. Yeah. You don't take floaters with show. All I do is floaters. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's banned here. You can't take a floater. He don't believe in mid ranges. It's threes, post up seals or layups. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like my whole game is like, dog.
That's because he came from Platteville. That's that swing offense.
That swing,
right there,
that swing offense. The mid range game is not a thing. So it's like. So, but my junior year, I'm like, we ain't doing that again. Yeah. Like I'm not coming back and about to do that. Like I'm about to get off now. Like okay, I was cool, we're doing that, we running the offense or whatever. But this year I'm coming in like, I'm trying to show out a little bit.
Did y'all speak and had that convo like, okay, Jay, this your junior year, this what I expect? Did that ever take place?
It wasn't no conversation like what it was. We had the conversation after my sophomore year because I wasn't cool with it. Yeah. But we had the conversation like, look, dog, you gonna have to let me rock out. More. Because I was thinking about transferring after my sophomore year. Believe it or not, I was kind of like, because I was thinking about going to the Falls, and I'm like, man. Okay. I was like. But I'm like, you know what? He probably gonna let me rock out a little bit.
That would have made sense if you did it at that time. Looking back on it.
But coming off of it, we went to state, and plus I'm hot from not playing. Yeah. Up at state, so I'm like, bro, if he gonna be on this, he ain't letting me rock out. Dog ain't play me upstate when I've been playing all year. Yeah. And then we coming into it, and he had the conversation. He was like, "No, it's gonna be, it's gonna be your show next year. We're gonna let you do what you do, because he already was like, I start letting you throw your behind the back, because he was on me, because he ain't want me throwing behind the back passes or whatever. Dudes was dropping it, but then he got used to some of my stuff, so he started incorporating our game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming behind, sneaking behind people, you know, because
Yeah.
first he didn't want me gambling, and it became a,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Jay gonna gamble, so y'all get ready and help him out when he do gamble. He started incorporating my stuff, so I started to see him change our team to my game a little bit. So I'm kind of like, you know, he is kind of, he let me rock out a little bit my sophomore year, but he ain't letting me really go crazy. So, but he told me, you know, we'd be good my junior year. So I'm like, all right, I believed it. So we came back. And
bro, and I'm thinking that the names, the North Shore, bro, your junior year. So you got Miles, Simeon, Trey, Jarrell at Nicolay. At Cedarburg, you got Chip, D1. Port, you got Josh, D1. Bay, you got Jimmy, D1. Milwaukee Lutheran, Chim, D1. Loaded conference, bro. So just give me all them names, bro, the expectations, bro, going into that junior year with them guys, bro.
Going into that year, I mean, we know we're going to be good. I don't think we know how good we're going to be because the conference is kind of stacked, you know what I mean? And we lost Rick, you know, and all that. We lost Bobby. We losing some. We lost some pieces, you know, from the past years or whatever. While we, you know, when we've been winning. But I'm thinking I'm knowing we still gonna be cold because I'm like, I know I'm cold. Like, so I know we gonna be good, especially coming off the AAU season. I just came off of. I'm like, I ain't got no doubt. I'm like, Showalter's like, he can't trip. I was like, he's stuck with dealing with what's gonna come. You know what I mean? If I'm hooping, I'm like, you ain't gonna sit me. You know what I mean? So like, you kind of stuck. You gonna have to let me rock out a little bit. And we gonna see. You know, the year came. It was turbulence from the get. We winning like crazy though. But it's rocky.
What was come on, speak on that dynamic. Why was it so rocky between y'all? Because you the coach on the floor. With the PG. So what was the issue, man?
So we if I would shoot, I'm just hearing it. You know, as soon as I shoot anything, like it's a problem. So I'm like, it's getting annoying. You know, I'm having to fight you on every time I take a shot. So, you know, I do a floater. Jay, you know, whatever, and it's, you know, whatever it is, I take a three. He coming up after the game, you know, showing me my field goal percentage from three on the year. You're shooting, you know, 29% from three or whatever. I'm like, bro, I'm not even seeing field goal. This first time I'm up here seeing 3-point field goal percentage. You putting up percentage. I'm thinking, you tracking me? You know, like in my head, I'm young-minded. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, bro, you pulling up percentages? I'm like, come on, bro. So now you up here making me self-conscious, like, bro, I can't shoot. You know what I mean? So, but I'm fighting it. You know, I'm fighting it all year with just, I'm still shooting a little bit. You know what I mean? Where you get irritated. The real breaking point kind of came. We had it was two of them. We played Homestead.
Okay.
I think I had like 13 or 15, I think, in the first half.
Okay.
So I'm
got it going.
So I got it going. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to halftime. I'm kind of like, yeah, man, about time. You know, I'm up here cooking. You know, we winning, going to halftime. I remember at halftime, he kind of was like, are you gonna run the offense now? And I remember I was like, dog. I'm like, we winning. I'm scoring, and it's a problem still. I'm like, so we come out halftime. I don't think I scored in the whole second half. But it wasn't even about scoring. It was just like me playing my game. I'm like, bro, I can't shoot. So we end up winning the game. That's like the first kind of where I was like, yeah, bro, I think I'm off this. And then I think a couple weeks down the road come, and we play Port Washington, and this is like Port competing with us for conference. We got conference outright if we beat Port. We lose to Port, it's tied. We tied for conference. So I'm sitting here like, and I ain't got no doubt we about to beat Port. I ain't gonna lie. I know we about to beat Port. So me and Showalter arguing the whole game. I come in the game. I think I shoot a floater. He walked on the court. Said, "You're not out there to shoot." I lost it. I was hot. I'm hot. So
what was Pops like at this time, seeing all this going on? What was his mindset?
Yeah, you know,
because I know he probably like.
Yeah, Pop's hot. You know, Pop's hot, but he ain't really. I don't think he really talking to Showalter directly. I think last year was kind of when he would talk to him. And this year was just kind of on me to deal with it. But Pop's just he fuming. He's steaming. You know what I mean? Because we, you know, as a parent, kid, you think you come out the AAU season, you got a lot of expectations for your junior year. You know, you think it's like about to be a great year.
Yeah.
This one, you know, college is about to come. You know, you think it's really about to be something. You probably win state or something. You know what I mean? So it was rough. That junior year was tough. And when that Port Washington game, really when everything came to a head, cause he tried to take me out. I remember we started losing the game. We go up like 5. We take me out. He said to me, you can go back in if you're gonna stop shooting. You gonna stop shooting? I'm like, nope. So we just going at it. He's sitting me.
Yeah.
I'm getting it, whatever. He ended up sitting me because I told him I was gonna shoot again if I get back in the game.
Yeah.
And then we ended up losing. So we tied for conference or whatever. And I'm off it.
Let me ask you, bro. Was he like that with anybody else? Because like I said, you had Mike, Zach, Ben. Did he have that was it just only you that dynamic was with, or he got into it with everybody?
No, I think it was just me because I was the point guard. You know what I mean? But at the time, because Rick and him used to get into it a lot.
I can see that.
A lot. Him and Rick got into it a lot. But
I can see that.
He was stuck with Rick too. You know, he wasn't like, what you gonna do? You gonna sit Rick? You don't want to lose. This y'all best year ever. You ain't about to lose. So he would, you know, Rick would just have it. But with me, he was trying to do that, and it's like it was gonna work. It was gonna work against him because this time he was gonna try to sit me.
Yeah.
So we wasn't gonna win that way. So it was just getting rough. Plus, I think we was the first guards he really had that was dynamic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you coming out to the to the burbs or whatever. You ain't never had a dynamic guard where they just don't jump stop, pivot and pat. You know what I mean? So it's like you got somebody that's I'm not jump stopping.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm jumping in the air throwing passes, which is bad. You know, players don't do that.
Right. But it's basketball at the end of the day, man.
But you know, so I came from the city. Yeah. So I'm playing, you know, how we grew up playing. Yeah.
Let me ask you this too. Because like Ben was dominant, bro, and like Ben stood out from any matchup he had.
Yeah.
So was it ever like, we got this our advantage, we gotta feed him and ride him till that's okay.
It was get it to Ben. You know, which I had no, we winning. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping off getting it to Ben.
Yeah.
Like I just when I'm doing something, if I do something
I gotta cook too, bro.
Like I ain't trying to hear nothing when I just did a move and scored. I gotta hear you even like dump it down. Like bro, I just scored. You know what I mean? So but it was that was so after that Port game, I quit. I was done. I was like, bro, I'm done. I was like, I quit, bro. I'm done with this. I'm about to hit it anyway. I'm leaving, bro. I'm not doing this no more. So then they had a player meeting. You know, everybody trying to get me back on the team. They convinced me to come back. 'Cause, you know, we can go upstate.
Yeah.
So I come back. We finished the year out, and we end up playing, I think, Menominee. We played the Falls to go upstate at the Al, because Al used to be cracking too. Yeah. Al used to be live. That's when section was at the Al. We used to have it. Man, it was jumping at the Al. But we ended up, I think, beating the Falls to go upstate. That's JP now. Mm-hmm. And we got Madison Memorial, our first game up there.
Yeah, that day.
Mamie.
Yeah.
Vander.
Different.
Trey Kramer. It was. I think Junior Lamamba was on that team too. They was stacked. That was probably one of the best high school teams I've ever seen.
Easy.
Out of Wisconsin. I'm like, this team is too OC. I mean, we was in the game. I think we ended up being down like 3 with like 2 minutes left or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking we got a shot, but we ended up losing to Madison Memorial upstate. But they was cold though. It was
they 1 through 5 was like,
man.
They had 4 D1s. Lamamba went D1, Jerron went D1, Vander, of course. I think one more cat on their team went. Yeah, they was I get it. That ain't nothing.
It was tough. It was tough getting Madison Memorial first game up there. I'm like, dang. But we was we thought we had a shot.
Yeah.
And we was close, but Madison Memorial was a little just too cold. Yeah. They was a little too nice. I mean, Vander started the game off with an alley. Oh my God, Ev. Ugh.
That's tough, man. I remember that. Man, Ev, you good, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I had to give Ev a little shot because we always clown him. For Vander kind of dunking on the first play of the game.
They was different. And I feel like Vander junior year was better than his senior year. Yeah, just in terms of state, ridiculous. But I want to rewind one time because I went to one game when y'all played Bay at Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Run us through, when I say cracking, bro, run us through that game, bruh.
Jimmy was a dog too.
Yeah.
I remember because I think my guy Evan really knew Jimmy, so Jimmy was like, "We gonna beat y'all."
Yeah, Jimmy would talk some shit, bro.
Jimmy used to talk crazy.
Yeah.
But that game at Whitefish Bay that was our biggest rival my junior year for sure.
Yeah.
It was no question. It was Jimmy now for sure because Jimmy was killing that Whitefish Bay. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't even remember if we might have lost that game.
Y'all lost that game because they had my guy Sam, a dude like a dude that's not gonna give you 30 or nothing like that, but just got hot.
Yeah,
weird. He got hot.
I remember now.
I'm like, that was what beat y'all.
Because I remember I was like, I was sick that we lost the Bay too, because Jimmy was talking crazy. Jimmy was talking crazy. We ain't worried about being. I'm like, man, we about to beat y'all. Just stop playing. You know what I mean? But we got a Bay and end up losing.
Yeah.
But no, that Whitefish Bay rivalry that year was. I love playing that Bay.
Did y'all beat them at Germantown?
Yeah.
Okay, so that. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, but that Bay gym though, man, Bay.
No, that's live, bro.
That gym be live.
They had a field house, man. So like the whole little.
That vibe, that atmosphere at Bay just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was high school basketball was cold back
then. Yeah, for sure.
It was cold.
Sure.
All the student section used to be jumping in the North Shore, and we had, that was the year was fun. But at the time when me and Showalter was getting into it that year. I'm still cool with him though. That's the crazy thing.
Because you said it's once he got one side and another side.
It's like man, we cool.
Yeah.
Like we cool, but man, when we get in this game, bro, you not letting me go. Like we got a problem. But
how much of it was just ego? Like this is what I do, and I ain't going outside of it.
Yeah, so I want to stick to his stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He stick to his stuff, but I think he learned though. I think it was
he did because when Monte came, we'll get in there. Your little brother came, we'll get in there.
It was different.
Later.
He was learning too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was learning how to coach guards. That's a little dynamic. You know what I mean?
You can say it, bro.
Yeah.
How to coach it. How to coach us.
How to coach black guards. You know what I mean? Like that.
Right.
It was a different. It was a different dynamic for him. It's the first ones he done had. You know what I mean? So it's like this was different for him. So he ain't know really how to let you go.
Right.
Within the offense. You know what I mean? So. If you do a little something flashy, it's a problem. It's like, oh, this is just our game. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. To start off. So, but he learned from it. So, but no, that was that though. So once we lost that summer, I was out of there. I was like, we about to hit it.
It was like, was it just a thought, or you like, I'm already doing stuff to get ready to transfer?
So I'm cool with JP at the time. I'm kicking it with JP.
Shout out to JP.
Shout out to JP. JP was cold. He is cold. I think he's still hooping.
He playing somewhere. Yeah.
So I'm cool with JP. I'm kicking it all through the summer. I'm like, man, I'm coming to the Falls, bro. I know everybody from the Falls.
And Chris was still there.
Chris at the Falls. Chris, my guy at the Falls. I know all the Falls kids. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to the Falls. They got pieces over there. We gonna, I'm out of here, bro. I'm about to go transfer to the Falls. So then that, in order to make that happen, Pop's like, well, we gotta move.
Yeah.
You can't play unless you move. Like, so we gonna have to move. So we moved to Menominee Falls.
And what's funny, you say that Germantown and Menominee Falls is like
right next to each other.
Walking across the street, bro, you in the Falls.
Yep.
So like it's dope you breaking it down like this, because like I said, when I seen it, I'm like, did you know about like you could potentially not play if something don't go?
Yeah, because it was I think it was the Corey rule.
Yeah.
It was the Corey rule. Corey transferred. They made the rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When he went to Pius or whatever. So we knew about the Corey rule.
Yeah.
But it was like, the thing was, if it's a full family move, you eligible, right? You supposed to be eligible right away.
Yeah.
If you move. So we moved.
Yeah.
So we like, oh, okay, we gonna move. So we moved to the Falls.
Did you play summer league with them at all?
Nope, because this is all in indecision at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
So it's all kind of end of the year is going crazy. We write our appeal to the WIAA or whatever. No, we ain't even have an appeal because I ain't thinking nothing gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm good. We move. Like, so we good. We talked to the AD at the Falls, like everything. We cool. Like I'm gonna play there next year. And then Germantown wrote a letter or something to the WIA saying that he transferred for athletic reasons. And I'm like, well, that don't matter. I moved. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. So they basically filed a complaint saying that they don't want me to be eligible at Menominee Falls. So they blocked it. WA came back and said, oh, well, if you're transferring for athletic reasons, we're going to deny you. So I'm like, what?
Let me ask you a real question. Do you know from Germantown who did that?
I don't know for sure. I mean, we can speculate who did. I'm pretty sure it was AD.
Yeah.
Showalter probably had something to do with it too at the time. I don't know. I don't know who exactly did it, but nobody was happy that I was leaving.
Yeah.
I know that. So they, so then they, I'm in conversation with my dad with Germantown because I'm off it. I ain't talking to nobody from Germantown. I'm like, bro, I'm not going back there. And he like, man, they said you can still play if you go back. And I'm like, I ain't going back. So.
Oh, okay. Did you and Keys kind of stop talking? Or
me and B was still cool.
Okay.
We still played AAU that summer together. So me and B still cool.
Yeah.
But it was Malcolm ended up leaving too.
Really?
Yeah. So it was me and Malcolm. We going to the Falls.
But Malcolm probably went back and.
Malcolm went back.
Okay.
Yeah, Malcolm went back.
Okay.
It was like, you ain't gonna get to play, but Malcolm. So it wasn't nothing with Malcolm because he went back and played. But me, I was like, I ain't going back to that. I'm not about to play like that no more.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna just take my chances. I got AAU coming, this summer.
Yeah.
And then we gonna I'm still thinking like we gonna file an appeal and fight it.
Yeah.
So in the summer I'm kind of like, man, whatever. That's what we'll worry about that kind of after AAU and see what that is. I'm still kind of not thinking like I'm really not gonna be able to play.
It could go bad.
I'm still kind of like, man, they denied it, but we gonna fight it. I'll be able to play.
Yeah.
Why they gonna deny me to play? Like, that's crazy. Like, you gonna stop a kid from playing his senior year for what? But no, that was So AAU come, I play with the scholars. Things, I'm feeling good off of that AAU season last year, but it's a little different now because I'm coming off this year where I ain't been able to get my rocks off. Like, I've been, I kind of like, I kind of lost some of that momentum coming into that this next AAU season. And then Flav and Devin come back. So I remember, Pop's like, dog, you got to still play how you was playing last year. You know what I mean? Like, for y'all to win at a high level, you playing how you playing with Flat. And we got Steve McWhirter.
Yep. Shout out to Steve, man. Shout out to Steve,
That's
man.
my guy. Steve, super cool. Super cool. Steve
One of the
nice.
best point guards to come out of the state.
Man, Steve was super nice.
Yeah.
Steve and his pop super cool. But so we got Devin, Flav, Steve come over. So I'm
Did Mikhail come with y'all too?
Mikhail, Mikhail. Shout out Mikhail.
Yeah.
I ain't talked to Mikhail in a minute. Yeah, Mikhail was nice. But yeah, I'm feeling like we loaded for the scholars. Now I'm like, we gonna be cold.
Yeah.
But that year, I remember, because coming off of Germantown, I don't think I just wasn't as confident as I was coming off that last AAU season. So I remember I just came and I felt like I bowed down when Flav and them came.
Oh, okay.
It was like Flav was cooking, doing his thing, but if I'd have been able to, keep my level up, we would have really been nice.
Yeah.
And I didn't stay playing at that. I was playing good. I was being like a point guard, but I wasn't scoring as much as I was last year. I wasn't going hard like I was last year. I could feel myself feeling like, Flav cold. Let me get this to Flav. You know what I mean? And kind of taking that back seat. Where I could have still let Flav rock out and still, did my thing.
Because y'all don't get in the way of each other.
No, we don't get in the way. But, when you... Flav been cold since we've been coming up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Flav like, Flav that guy. You know what I mean? Coming back. So I don't think I didn't do what I was supposed to do that AAU season.
I hear you.
Yeah, with Flav.
Because funny story, bro. Because I'm young for my grade, and like I had already committed to Platteville, but Keith had asked me through Mikhail, like, hey, bro, you could play a tournament with the scholars if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm already going to school. But had I known all them bikes, I would have played one tournament with y'all, bro. Would have slid one time.
Yeah. No.
But just what was your dynamic with Keith, bro?
Bro, Keith, one of my favorite coaches of all time.
Yeah.
Keith so laid back.
Yeah.
I mean, if we made a mistake in the game, I remember Keith wouldn't even say that. Keith just like. He just put his hands on his head. You just see the disapproval on his face. But man, Keith was super cool, man. One of my favorite coaches. Let you go.
For sure.
Chief ain't never was like, no, don't do this, Jay, or nothing like that. It was always, he actually encouraged me to do more. You know what I mean? So Keith was great coach.
So
Jesse and Tony over there too. Yeah.
So Keith coached at Dominican for JV. So my sophomore year, I was on VAR, but what you was going through your freshman year, that kind of happened my sophomore year. So I would do like 2 and 2 every now and then. Dog would let me just go and like won't say nothing. So I can vouch for that. But we fast forwarding, bro, your senior year. So you got to break it down to me and let me know what was going on. When they come back and you just find out, okay, I'm not going to be able to play, what's going through your mind, dog? And it's your senior year, bro.
Yeah, my senior year, so I'm hurt. You know what I mean? Senior year, I've been playing basketball my whole life. So I'm like, dog, I really can't play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start to get into like the, the starting to practice and stuff. That stuff come in November, whenever it's starting. It's kind of like, dog, I'm up here at this school. They got basketball, but I ain't even playing.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, man, it was rough at first because I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Though. I'm really not about to play basketball. But I ain't been able to really kick it either in high school since I've been playing basketball. So I'm kicking it now, like senior year, like I'm kicking it. We going to parties and stuff, and just having a good time my senior year. So I kind of let it go probably midway through the season, just have fun my senior year, and then kind of was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick it back up. After the year, we gonna kind of see how everything shake out. Yeah. Because at this time, too, it's like you got to decide if you love something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you really love basketball, you're going to take this and it's like, I'm going to just grind. I'm going to go JUCO. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make it happen. But I think coming off of that senior year with not playing, I kind of was like, man, I'm trying to see something, bro. So I just ended up moving to Florida with my guy.
Okay.
Right after that, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go try to walk on at UCF because he was gonna go to UCF. He was gonna take a year off. I'm gonna just try to walk on. So I'm playing with the team in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the coach. I'm like, so I'm thinking I probably got a good shot of walking on.
Yeah.
And I ain't get into the school. I ain't have a high enough ACT score or something like that. So I'm like, dang. So I'm stuck in Florida. Like, I gotta go back to the crib now. Yeah. So I come back and we just get into adulthood now.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. And like, bruh, like I said, when I heard that, I was like, I don't know why, cause dog was cold, and this was that year where he was gonna be able to put it on full display, being gone. You know what I'm saying? Was Mike, was he still there?
Minsky was gone.
Minsky
was gone. So it was cause Zach had a great freshman year.
Yeah, he was nice. But like it was gonna be.
So it was gonna be me, Zach,
Malcolm,
Josh Mongden.
Yeah.
Did
Fisher? Luke Fisher wasn't there. He wasn't in there yet.
No, I ain't. No, Luke wasn't there yet.
Okay.
No, but I wasn't even thinking of that though. I ain't gonna lie. It was like when I after my junior year, I was like, man, I'm off that. Like, I'm gonna come back. In my head, I'm gonna come back. He gonna still be on.
Yeah.
What he trying to be on, and then you got the other things were like his son here now too.
Yeah.
So I'm like. Yeah. I was like, it ain't gonna happen. It's probably gonna be you thinking it's gonna be worse next year. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's over. I'm gonna go over there and play with JP, and we just gonna rock out my senior year.
Lives the whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, that's like perfect. You know what I mean? You got JP catching lives. I'm like, oh, we good.
And both JPs, matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
let me ask you this, bro. And like we grown now, was you ever able to link back with Showalter and get some type of closure?
For
that situation. Let's speak on that one time. Yeah,
so the closure kind of came because I was off, bro, for what I thought would be for life. But then Jawan started coming up.
Yeah.
So then we kind of looking at the landscape of things. Jawan killing. He at the Falls now because we transferred to the Falls. So now he at the Falls. He ain't at Germantown no more either. He playing up in that program, and he played his freshman year at the Falls. And then they was kind of. I remember he wasn't starting at first.
Was he on VAR right away?
He was on VAR right away, but he was kind of we looking at it like Jawan is the best player on this team, right? And they kind of playing. It was him and Brandon Ramey.
Okay, yeah.
Brandon Ramey was the guy.
Yeah.
And then Juwan coming up, and he playing Juwan, but he coming off the bench. He just kind of playing games. We like, dog, it's kind of easy to see. Like they worried about the parent, what the parents gonna say. If we play him. So halfway through the year, he starting Juwan, and they just go on a win streak. They just start winning. Juwan scoring scoring everything. Him and Brandon, a super nice duo now.
Yeah.
So, but we was kind of like, man, I don't know if the Falls, if they worrying about what these parents is talking about instead of winning basketball games, we don't know if the Falls is gonna be it, because the Falls is, man, if you know anybody in the Falls, if they are them parents in the Falls, man, they got a lot of sway on what's going on in that program. I think
pay all that money in taxes.
Man, that's what always held them back. I think from being nice. Is them parents, man, they really, them parents, it's just they got too much involvement on what the coaches and stuff gonna do. So we kind of looking at like, we think we gonna get out of here. We ain't really liking the Falls. I only came there really to only play
that 1 year,
whatever. So then we looking at the teams and we like, man, what about Germantown?
That's
and it's crazy because I think it might have been me that was like told my pops like, man, I think we maybe we go rock with he can't do that to Juwan.
Yeah.
He already got a name. He a top freshman in the state. You know what I mean? He top 10 right now, I think, in the state or something like that. So I'm like, he can't do that with him. And he got we seen how Monte. I'm like, Monte there, letting dog rock out. I'm like, I think he learned, kind of how to. I think mine was like a cautionary tale almost, like, you know what I mean? This is what I ain't gonna do the next time I get a guard, like that. So I didn't reach out to show. I forgot how we got in contact, but then we start that process, and Juwan ended up transfer back to Germantown. That's kind of what mended it all, back together, because they went on. Juwan won the championship with them. Went to state, undefeated the next year, whatever, played Stevens Point up there again in state. So that kind of, that brought it all back together when Juwan went back there. So I forgave him for that situation. It wasn't no. It's over now. It's water under the bridge now.
Yeah, that's dope. Because at the end of the day, man, we all people, man. We trying to win, and we ain't perfect. So the fact that y'all two was able to mend that, because I heard he a good dude, like, at the end of the day. So y'all was able to figure that out, man.
Yeah, he's cool. Dope, I messaged Showalter Juwan, coached under him for the Dominican recently. He just retired or whatever. So I always like Showalter. We had that problem, but I ain't about to dwell on something like that. Life go on, you move on from these things.
For sure.
So, but no, that was it. It was a learning experience though. Both ways, on me and with him. I think it helped him out, for the better. It helped me out too on just how to approach situations in the future, because when you an adult, you can't be, life move on. Ain't nobody waiting on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody care what you got going on. So life got to keep going. And I go from Jalen the Hooper to dang, I ain't hooping no more.
Yeah.
It ain't Jalen the Hooper no more. You know what I mean? You doing stuff. It's like
Daddy now.
I'm Jalen. You know who is Jalen now outside of basketball? So now it's the work that come into, when you a man, is like, what your values are. So that's what I learned through it. It's like, it's really about your values in life on what it is. Because throughout my whole journey, I don't think I ever loved a game playing it. I love basketball, but playing the game, I ain't the dude that's just like, bro, I stay in the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like my big. I think if you really gonna be great at something, you gotta really love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta be a gym rat. You gotta love every time you love playing basketball. I go without playing basketball for 2 months.
Yeah.
And be cool.
Yeah.
So I know I ain't love playing the game, but I love the game.
Yeah.
But when it come down to that stuff, I was just we learn from that experience.
That's so real. You broke it down like that, because I can agree. But I gotta shoot the ball somehow, some way. I got to get my hands on the ball, but just like, and you made the perfect transition to being a ball player and knowing like I have to move on. And then now, bro, being a dad, being a husband, man, being a coach, just the situation you got going on, man, how much pride do you take making sure your people straight, your wife straight, your kids straight, type of dad are you, man? Just speak on that one time.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about. I mean, with everything, with basketball, what it all taught me It's just you gotta go hard. Like when you do something, I might not have loved it and been a gym rat, but when I played, it was always all go. Like everything was going all the way through. So just approaching that pride, man, with everything. If I played basketball, I had pride. Whoever we playing against, you know what I mean. I think I'm gonna go at you like I'm the coldest dude out here. So even with that, come with a job, my family, getting a house, whatever it is, it's always about pride and. Don't ever do nothing half-assed. You know what I mean? Everything I attack, I'm gonna attack it full. I'm not going half-assed with nothing that I do. So that's my goal, to teach my kids and everything. It's like, whatever you want to do, that's cool. But you better make sure whatever you choose to do, you gonna go hard. We ain't going half-assed with nothing. But no, that's all I'm about, man. Is family. Having my family around, my kids. I don't like kids, other people's kids. I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't lying.
I only like my kids. I ain't gonna lie. But for my kids, we going hard with everything. I'm a little tough, as a pops, like on my kids. I'm probably not as tough as my pops, but my pops probably think I'm not tough enough on my kids. But for other people, they look at me like I'm tough on my kids. But I think you gotta discipline.
That's what you there for, man. What you there for?
Yeah, I think family is everything, for me. My little brother, I see my little brother, I talk to my little brother every day on the phone. So, it's all about family. That's what it's always going to continue to be about. So.
And shout out to Juwan. I need to ask, you need to answer me this. At what age was he okay, little dog colder than me now? What age was that?
Man, what age was Wani colder? It probably was, I still think Jawan could mess with me even his freshman year. It was over. I think probably like Jawan, probably like sophomore year.
Okay.
Is when I probably was like, because he taller too. You know what I mean? My pop's 5'7".
Yeah.
Mom's 5 feet. Wani popped to like 6 feet. I'm all of 5'6", so he getting tall.
Yeah.
And it's like he's shooting.
Right.
He's a little Trey Young or something.
Yeah.
He pulling, in our half court.
Yeah.
So I'm like, little dog like that now. So,
did y'all play ones when y'all was younger? Or?
Little bit, yeah, cause I was fast, bro. So I still Wani, you still can't hold me, but it's it
gonna come on with hey man, let me
but no, he I wasn't beating Juwan in ones probably no more in high school. Once he got to like his junior year, probably was over. We probably was done. Plus I was gone. I moved to Florida.
Yeah.
So when I came back, he was really cooking.
Yeah.
So it was like it was over. We played a lot of hustles, bro.
Okay.
Pops love. We was hustles all the time.
Oh yeah.
So shout out Pops, man. He
for
was,
sure.
My Pops was a father figure to a lot of people growing up. Got people in the AAU, had people at the crib all the time. Our house was the spot. Had the court in the alley, had the Kirks over, JG over, everybody over.
That's
So my Pops was very influential in plenty of these my friends' basketball journeys. So.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Got 2 more questions for you, then we can wrap this up. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but that's what we do here. And if you want to say no comment, I'll let you pass on this one. So you got one game. You got to pick between these 2 players to choose to win this game. You could pick Flav or you could pick Ben. Who you picking, bruh? You got one game. Game 7, bro, to get the win. Who you picking? Game
7 to get the win. I'm taking Flav.
Okay, that's respect.
Yeah, I'm taking
respect.
Flav,
Respect.
Flav, my guy. I love being my guy, but Flav was cold. Boy.
Yeah, he was.
Flav was cold.
Yeah.
Super cold. Yeah, I'm taking Flav.
That's real, because it wasn't even no thought.
No
thought about it.
No, Flav was cold.
Yeah.
That was my guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Flav, man. He came on the show earlier, man. Blessed the show. So shout out to bro. So I always ask this question to everybody on the show, man. The Jalen you are now, the dad, the husband, coach. You had to go back and speak to your younger self. Speak to senior year Jalen, sophomore year Jalen, junior year Jalen. What advice you giving your younger self, bro?
Oh, man. The advice I'm giving my younger self. It's probably just, you gotta take chances.
Yeah.
In life and things that may be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna have to do things that may seem uncomfortable for you. And I think, you know, as a younger Jalen, I didn't force myself to take enough chances or this gamble or this risk. You know, if it was playing on this team or going to hoop here or whatever, you know, I don't think I took enough chances. As you know, so I'm making a conscious effort, you know, as I get older to do things that it may be beneficial toward me, even though they may seem uncomfortable. Because I'm working in corporate now, I'm in sales, so I don't love speaking, you know, and doing all that. So, but at work, sometimes I got to put myself out there, like, all right, I got to get better at this, you know. So, as you get older, you realize, like, you're gonna have to be uncomfortable with things.
For sure.
Everything ain't. If you too comfortable, you doing something wrong.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? Like if you ain't uncomfortable with some of the things that you doing, I mean you ain't pushing yourself. Like, and I ain't saying you got to push yourself to be somebody you ain't.
Right.
But you can't be running away from opportunities either because you're a little nervous to do this or do that. So I think that's what I would tell my younger self is like you got to take chances, man. You can't be scary.
Yeah.
You know, Pops used to always say, don't be afraid of greatness.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that's one of them things that I would definitely try to get through.
That's dope, man. I think that's the mic drop moment, man. I appreciated your time. I'm glad I heard it from you. You cleared it up because I'm like, why, bro, ain't? But you cleared it up for me, man. Now, bro, if you could take this time, you got any shout outs, anything you want to push, man, any people you want to just bring up, bro. The floor is yours, dog.
Yeah, man. Shout out, you know, everybody I came up with, Marcus Kirk, Jordan Kirk, Cree and C-Ron.
Man, shout out to them, man.
You know,
they're from my neighborhood.
Yeah,
man.
Cree and C-Ron.
Yeah.
You know, obviously JG, Ryan Keys, man, Evan Gillespie, and my dogs, man, Crispy Chris.
Yeah. Shout out Chris, man.
You know, my pops and just everybody that came up with me, man. It was Ken Kirk, you know, Marcus and them pops.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. Very influential, man. Used to pick me up, bring me to some of the game, my little league games when my pops was working or whatever. So, yeah, just everybody that came up, man. I was Durham, you know. Durham came full circle, you know. Durham coach with Durham now with Reagan and Josh. So going from elementary school and then, you know, coaching with Durham now is super dope. Just and then shout out Reagan, man. Reagan High School, man. You know, I love Josh got me last year to come and coach. You know, man, hey, come on, help me out coaching, man. I was like, man, I ain't never coached before, so and just having the impact on these kids and seeing the young dudes and showing them what's right and what's wrong out here, man. It's been fun coaching.
That's dope. Yeah, well, again, my brother, thank you again, man. It's a dope interview. When we cut the cameras off, so I got a new thing instead of sign. Well, you gonna sign the board too, but you gotta sign the ball, man.
Sign the ball.
You gotta sign the rock too, man.
Sure.
So again, man, thank you for coming, man. Phenomenal story, phenomenal person, bro. Good dad, good husband, all that. It was cold back in the day.
Yeah, shout out wifey too, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Let me say it again, bro.
My bad. Yeah, shout out my wife, man. Brittany, you know, Brittany. I wouldn't be able to do this with the kids without her. So shout out wifey, man.
For sure, man. I think that's the mic drop moment. But man, again, man, thank you again, man. This Cut Talk. Jalen McCloud, Mark Pace. We out. Yes, sir.